And we are live. My name is Ration Outlaw. You are watching RNN live. Now, why don't we have our guests introduce themselves starting from the bottom?
With the bottom.
Hello, my name's Neko Boy. I'm music producer and content creator.
Hi, I'm 18 Putza. I make parodies and occasionally maybe work for North Korea. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I am today's greasy boy because I need a shower.
All right. And nice to meet you, King Cobra. You say you're a recent viewer, it seems. I hope you can check out my other content if you are interested in looking at more. Anyways, we have one comment here from also Roy.
Good day, everyone. Happy to see you all back. How have you been? The usual, depressed, wanting to kill either ourselves or someone.
I have been fine personally. Still working on trying to get some sales in, but I'm getting there.
Eh,
How's everyone else?
it could be better, could be worse. I got my VR in, so I'm not complaining too much.
Mm-hmm.
What you using it for?
No, to watch YouTube and to play a couple of Steam games. Half-Life Alyx is giving me motion sickness. I don't think that your eyes were meant to experience like the amount of death to it. Although I did turn back Blinkist mode, that down the effects a little bit, but I almost threw up after like 20 minutes on it.
As for your question, Shy Guy, no, I personally don't. The reasons why mostly is because he just leaves super long ass comments. I don't normally like to respond to them because it just takes too much of my time. It's not that I can't so much as I just choose not to because they're basically long essays for me, and I just don't want to spend the time going through that. Although I do have some in mind, I think I put one in a later on. I might do down the line responding to in a video, but for the most part, I normally.
But then you
don't
want us
respond.
to read some of them
Yeah, I think I did say that one time. We might do that sometime.
several times.
But for right now, no, I don't plan on responding to any of his comments because he just leaves so many freaking long ass comments. Okay, and we got another comment here from Roy. Ah, yes, he says, "Welcome to the channel, King Cobra." All right, now
I'm
for
impressed that you ignored the previous comment Roy left.
this one.
Yes. That's because I have plans, Roy. I always have plans.
Don't worry, I'll make sure he doesn't do anything illegal.
Hey, it's not illegal if it's not on US soil.
Anyways, let's get on with the video. Alright.
Welcome back to the Women Be Shopping Network. Today we've got some incredible products for the modern ladies.
What the fuck have you
First
got
up,
for us?
jewelry. Now everyone needs a statement piece, and these cursive necklaces continue to be all the rage. But instead of just an accessory with your name on it, why not a necklace that
I will
gives
make you an
answer
accessory,
to a
Roy.
question you're tired of people asking you, like, when are you gonna have kids? Now I wear this to every family gathering, Thanksgiving, backyard barbecue, my niece's softball game.
What does it say?
Also great for weddings.
I don't want kids or something, I think it was.
Uh,
I read I don't and on kids, but
Yeah, I don't want kids.
That's some terrible ass font on want.
I
Does
mean,
that-
go ahead.
No, just talking about how the font is fucking shit in this. I kept reading wood, and I wonder because I don't. The N is throwing everything off. Anyways, forget about fonts. Oh, but it says over there I don't want kids. I should have read that.
Yeah. I mean, if it was some old writer, he would be freaking out about eugenics right now, saying that like every white person should have about at least 4 kids or something. I mean, there is.
talking to Outlaw again.
I just have a question is, does that actually happen to anyone that you've seen where they, unless it's like an older woman asking, Like, do you actually see people saying, "When are you gonna have kids?"
I mean,
No.
occasionally my mother teases me about it, but other than that, not really.
I've only seen either teases or Indian families. But that's kind of self-explanatory with that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's continue.
Niece's softball game, also great for weddings, corporate retreats, or even going to the store. It's crazy how often women get asked if they want kids. We also have options for every invasive, inappropriate question. Look stylish and
I
independent
mean, I'm
with
assuming
the...
that she doesn't have any statistics to back her claim, and it's just mostly anecdotal. I mean, I'm sorry these people exist, but what the fuck do you want me to do about it?
To be fair, I think she's more misconstruing the idea with her previous statements like at work. I think she's misconstruing someone actually pushing you to have kids with the whole thing of just someone casually asking, do you plan on having kids or anything like that? Because I do know that for certain professions, they ask you this in advance.
Yeah.
And Demon has arrived. You're late.
Finally, he's the bottom.
That'll be his punishment.
I was asleep.
Oh, okay.
I just woke up and I was like, oh crap, it's 3. I thought it was like yesterday. I don't know.
How much drinking have you been doing?
Today, none. Last night, a whole bunch.
So the answer is yes.
No, today, no, I haven't had anything to drink. I mean, some water.
Anyways, let's continue.
Stylish and independent with the I'm happy being single option, or the very popular I'm not overreacting. Oh, all right, I'm getting word that we've already sold out of this collection, but don't worry, we just got a restock of last week's bestsellers, the statement rings. And our
What?
hair jewelry. Oh
What did
my,
it say?
this stunning
I
jewelry.
think that meant their puberty.
Oh my, this
my God.
stunning.
You mean
And
period.
our hair jewelry. The
Sorry,
statement rings.
period.
What hell did I wake up to?
You drink
And
hot
our hair jewelry. Oh my, this stunning piece says, don't touch my hair. Absolutely beautiful. Should be common sense, but you know it ain't. But we've got it.
I still do not know who the hell touches other people's hair of a stranger.
Biden?
Other than Biden. Other than Biden. Like,
Asians.
I personally have never seen anyone touch any.
No, I gave you an answer. Asians.
Why Asians?
Indians, Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese. If you're a young child or even a woman with blonde hair, you will have the occasional weird person who will grab it because it's so foreign.
I don't
That-
want to touch anybody's hair. Hair's gross.
I just gave you a continental separation. Besides, you live across the damn Atlantic one way and the damn Pacific the other way.
Well, yeah, the only time I
No.
recall someone stranger touching my hair was one time in Mexico.
Oh.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Isn't that a movie?
And that was when I had still
Maybe.
very blonde hair.
I don't think anyone's ever touched my hair, but I never understood like why people do that. That just seems so inappropriate.
It's just cultural things. It's the same thing in India where you will have older women just do the cheek pinch on babies even if they don't know the person. They
Hey,
just see a baby and they need to do that and traumatize the kid for years to come.
Hey, Z, you want to hear? I got my DNA test back. Or my
Oh.
sister got hers.
Okay.
Are you black or Jewish?
Okay. So, this is going to make you laugh. German, English,
Okay.
Scottish, Irish, Nigerian,
Okay.
and Southeast Asian.
So
Huh.
you have the N-word pass.
Yes, I am an African American.
I mean,
How much
if-
Nigerian, if I may ask?
Like 2%.
Okay, so then it may or may not be there. I think it's around
It's
5.
like it's barely like any, but I was like Nigerian. That's interesting.
So, okay, so Roy left a comment over here. Speaking of which, Izzy, I've heard that in Japan, since overweight people are relatively rare, some people, rarely though, touch their stomachs. Yeah.
Have you met a sumo wrestler, Roy?
Oh, they aren't that fat anymore. That's not even a joke. Japan basically 5 years ago, I think it was, they outlawed being fat.
Oh, I don't know.
Only
been
specific
there. Would like to go there.
professions, such as like sumo wrestling, are you legally allowed in Japan to be fat. And
How do you
with
outlaw
those,
being fat?
Well,
uh,
okay. What they mean by quote outlaw is that like they'll charge you extra on your insurance.
Well, that's fine.
So like for example, like a lot of people have it through like a company, and they'll like weigh their employees regularly and stuff, and
so it's like insurance. In some cases, it's also travel and several other things. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
outlaw in quotation marks, but it's still to the point where they wrote up a whole series of laws for this.
Saturday
Yeah.
night, you question Joe Biden. He goes, "Okay, fat."
But anyways,
okay, let's continue with this stupid.
well, back to the
whoever.
whole hair thing. Have you seen anyone touch any like black person's hair, in what you've seen
I live in
mean,
Germany, so how am I supposed to
in
know?
the United States specifically? I'm not
I
talking
mean,
about
does
you.
Pornhub count?
I don't know where this thing came from, where they're saying that, white people are touching black people's hair. Like, I don't touch anybody's hair.
The only thing that
what-
I've ever seen is a long series of YouTube videos where a fucking child pulls on a black woman's hair and it turns out it's a wig. Maybe that's why they keep complaining.
I mean, I've never seen it, but I'm not denying that it happens. A part of me feels like it's probably like a Midwest thing, since boundaries seem a little different there.
I don't know. I've never seen that in my life. But
I
also,
certainly
All I
I've-
can say is I don't know.
I've never met a white supremacist in my life.
Anyways, I'm just gonna say I've certainly have never seen it. The only time I touched a black guy's hair was when that black guy was my boyfriend before. Except
And you keep bringing that up.
what?
I think.
Oh, was that you on Pornhub?
He's having some feels for an ex.
What were you saying, demon?
Nothing.
What were you saying?
I didn't say nothing.
Right, I'm gonna rewatch this fucking stream. It's early enough. It's only 12 minutes in. Before we continue watching the video, though, King Cobra left a comment. I do really enjoy your content. For ideas in the future, maybe you could debunk China or Chinese apologists, or China apologists, whichever way you want to say it, and genocide deniers. One of them is called Bay Area 415, and the other is called Daniel Dundrell.
Dundrell. I looked in the Bay Area guy that King Cobra is talking about. The only problem is I may try to respond to maybe one video. The only problem is like a lot of his videos are over an hour long, and I don't usually like to respond to content that's super long. I only make sometimes.
Okay, so the only person that I can find with that is a slightly, oh boy,
Damn it! Rational set himself up for a joke, and I can't do it.
What joke?
I'll make the joke.
yeah, this is.
I'm missing
Let
something.
go. Oh,
What?
it's hurting me not to say it.
Just say it. I missed out on what you guys were talking about. Is it the N word?
Well, anyways, I was saying I don't want to necessarily respond. I might try to respond to maybe one of his videos. I have to look into it a bit more, but a lot of his videos from Bay Area are very long, and I just don't want to respond. And I see what you're trying to make a joke as, and that's not what it is.
Don't you see where I'm going? There?
The name doesn't even sound like a dick.
We're all
So
laughing.
you're saying you don't like long rooster?
No, I don't mind long rooster, although I prefer normally fatter
He
rooster.
just doesn't like it when it's thick.
No, I actually prefer it thicker.
Oh, geez. Are you just
jeez.
gonna go post your Pornhub history next, or what?
Why the fuck am I here for this?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because you have a nice, long, and fat dick, Z.
Shut up. I know I put most men to shame, but that's a different story.
Okay. Let's just clear the air and answer this question. Okay, which one of you is on the bottom?
Him.
Actually, Z is the one who wants to get fucked in the ass the most.
Okay, I am very uncomfortable at the moment with this conversation.
Oh, you're uncomfortable.
I'm just a
This
switch.
is the reason why this is the reason why gays and straight don't work together.
I'm gonna find where you fucking live and strangle you till the end of your life.
Anyways, I guess we've gotten way off track. Let's go back to the video.
In North Korea,
we got
bitch.
derailed? Never.
Let's go back to the video. By the way, Nico, where are you? You've been super quiet.
I've just
He's
been
done
watching the
wise
show.
choice.
He's been watching the sparks fly.
Neko, drop out and come back in so you can be the bottom bitch again.
No,
your
you're
place.
late. This is what you get.
Oh, I got bad internet. Don't worry about it.
This is your incentive to be on time.
I was
Another
5
hot
minutes
item
late.
today. As a daughter of a mother, I love mothers, and this next product is great for them. Moms know breastfeeding in public isn't easy. There's always some psycho who is offended or some creep who thinks they've got a front row seat to Moms Gone Wild. That's why this bra comes with a projector that plays a movie from the Fast and the Furious franchise on the wall directly opposite you. Let's take a look.
Who is this idiot?
Would you look at
And
that?
why
Ain't
is she
that fun?
speaking?
They'll be staring at the
That's Lily Singh.
She's not
You don't
funny.
remember who she is?
I remember who Lily Singh is, yes. And she's totally
She the-
not funny at all.
Isn't she the one who like sued Count Dankula and lost? No, wait,
I don't know.
that's
I
not-
think she
not
can
Count
be.
Dankula. What's...
I think she can be funny. The only problem is when she does political comedy, she doesn't do it very good.
She's not funny. I've watched
'cause-
her shows.
Have you seen her YouTube channel though? Like her old content.
Yes. She's
Really? 'Cause
not
I
funny.
enjoyed some of her content where she does her whole Indian family thing.
It's
Her
all
old content.
race
Her newer
baiting
content
and-
is weak, very weak, and just not. Anything
and
else.
she mentioned that she's a bisexual person of color.
Yeah.
Lately-
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
I'm talking about her
It's
old
super
content.
easy.
Her newer
Barely an
content is not so
inconvenience.
good. But anyways,
Ugh.
let's continue.
soft, smooth, supple curves of Vin Diesel's head. Oh, looks like we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the air.
I just want to say I love this bra. In fact, the entire neighborhood loves it. I've started hosting a movie night every time I breastfeed.
Would you look at that? Moms, what can't they do?
That really
and
wasn't
just
a bad
sync up
joke.
your bra to the app to get the latest releases. Oh, wow. Looks like they released 3 more Fast and the Furious movies in the last half hour.
Although I'm wondering why Fast and the Furious as the joke. I'm not quite sure I understand that.
Because
I-
guys only like fast cars and big buff dudes and hot bitches.
But isn't like Fast and Furious like really popular, and it's one of those franchises that's like really popular in India and China,
Yeah, there's,
and that's
like-
how they keep making their money back.
So that explains why they're idiotic.
I mean, how many
I
Fast and Furious movies did they make?
9.
7, 8?
9.
Is it up to 9? 999?
I thought that there was like only 6, and then I heard rumors about a 7. But some time ago, I was watching a video by Rezes,
Mhm.
which does like bad video game content, and they released a Fast and Furious game last year,
Mhm.
and I recommend to watch the video. It's fucking funny. But in the video, it does show that there are 9 films. So sure, I'm a bit back, considering I've
I
only
knew
seen
they got
part
up-
of the first one.
I know they got up to 7, but I saw 1, and then I saw 2, and then I never watched another one ever again.
Mm.
But
I mean, I do
Daddy
like how the
Vladimir
film-
does not approve.
Mhm.
Yeah. I do like how the film breaks every law of physics.
Anyways, let's continue.
You care about the laws of physics in that series, despite the fact that the series started about hijacking a truck filled with DVD and VCR players.
That is true.
That's literally how the first film started. Fast forward, and now they're doing
Right.
international espionage and fucking fast.
Oh yeah, running from
I'm
a
gonna
fucking
mute myself.
submarine in the Arctic.
Oh,
I'm gonna mute myself. I gotta go throw some laundry in.
no, wait a second before you go, Demon. Guess what I just found out?
Okay.
Because I was gonna check out what's like the last 3 films' budget, earnings from US and international. And looks like last week they announced the Fast and Furious 10.
Jesus fucking
Oh,
Christ! No
of course
wonder
they
why
did.
Vin Diesel left.
so that whole joke about Fast and Furious having 10 films, technically
Well,
she's
Vin
right on
Diesel's
it.
still alive.
Yeah, I
Vin
I
Diesel's still
give her
alive, but
credit.
Paul Walker sure isn't.
Oh fuck.
Too soon.
Yeah, bad choice. In fact, the Fast and Furious 9 isn't even out yet. Fast and Furious 9 releases on June 25th this year. There's already a planned 10th one. So I can't check out the earnings of Fast and Furious 9 because it's not here. So I'm going for the 8th film, which was 2017. Its earnings in the US was $226 million and over $1 billion worldwide. So that's about 4 times more internationally than just the US. And let's check out the 7th film, just called
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Furious
in the-
7.
And
Furious
they're
7
just
In
spin-off
the US,
earning,
that would be a flop.
and the Fast and Furious 7 film earned $353 million US and $1.3 billion internationally.
So
Separate
it flopped
from-
in the US, but internationally it did.
I don't
Right.
think it flopped by the numbers. What was the budget? Why the fuck does IMDb like to hide this shit? Where is the budget? Budget. Yeah, it flopped in the US. Fast and Furious 8 film had a budget of $250 million, which does not count the marketing budget, and its total was about $30 million short.
Yeah, so it didn't
So-
even break even here.
Nope.
But it went very well.
But a bunch of
outside the
Indians
United
went and
States.
watched it. Yeah, a bunch of Indians went and watched it.
Indians love the Transformers films,
See?
along with China also loves the Transformers films.
Oh, I wonder why.
Z, I
Anyways,
don't
let's
know how you
continue.
survived in India.
Easy. The cinema experience is actually quite nice and surprisingly cheap.
Anyways, let's continue.
Finally, for all my tech-loving gals, you're gonna freak for this next product. Ladies, how many times have you been at a meeting or at a party and said an idea only to have it completely ignored? Bummer. Introducing Amazon Amplify. Now, it has all the capabilities of an Amazon Echo, but it also repeats the ideas of the women in the room and gives them credit. Just say, Alexa, amplify.
Priya said we should compost on the roof, and then Greg said, let's compost on the roof. This is a reminder that the composting was Priya's idea.
How fun! This product is great for women working in government, law, in STEM, in almost every
Ah, yes,
professional
because
setting.
women in government need to be
Is this-
much
is
louder
this
and
supposed to be
obnoxious.
What's that? I'm getting word from our producers that the Amazon
Oh, like
Amplify
AOC?
comes with our business
Or
package,
Nancy
which
Pelosi?
also includes high heelys. For many women in business, heels are still required to be taken seriously. Neato.
No.
But with the high
I'm just wondering if high heels are required in business to be taken seriously.
Oh my! I need a cigarette.
I don't think so.
Like dressing, like to be professional, yes, but where their high heels are required, no.
Oh, he's gone. Anyways,
Healy, you don't have to sacrifice comfort or speed. Just glide right into your corner office. Note that our model is also wearing our hot power suit. Did you know most offices are
That's
too
not a
cold for
suit.
women because thermostats are set based on the temperature of a male body in a suit? Which is why this suit jacket is lined with heating pads. Just shake it to activate the warming crystals. But that
Yeah, but I don't get the complaining about that. Is that if you feel cold, then wear an extra layer.
Or just talk to someone about it, because as far as I understand, most office jobs are just like they're fine with changing the temperature a bit.
Yeah, but even if they don't, just wear an extra layer of clothing. Like, I get cold very easily, personally.
I know, I've heard you complain.
Gee, thank you. I get cold pretty easily. If it gets too cold, I get cold. But I don't complain about saying, oh, someone needs to turn up the thermostat. No, it's just either I'm going to wait it out or should bring, extra clothing so I make sure I'm warm.
Yeah, I'm not sure why this is portrayed as a women's issue. Like getting hot or cold.
I mean, hey, if we're gonna have pointless nationalism, just
Alright, some-
really idiotic, dumb pseudo
Sorry, some weirds.
What?
Something weird's going on with my microphone.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. I keep getting this like zzz, 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 zzz noise in my ear. I don't know.
I
it's
mean,
like
now we're
static.
hearing. I'm pretty sure I'm hearing something from your microphone right now.
But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I
Everyone
got
is
some
hearing-
weird buzzing going on.
I'm also hearing buzzing.
Anyways, let's continue.
That's not all. This jacket also has a sandpaper panel. So people, who am I kidding? Men, stop touching your lower back. Wow.
Okay, for starters, my experience on Pornhub that won't stop them.
Oh God!
You get stuck in a sink or something, you're screwed. But anyway, I guess to point out, who's eating chips?
Not chips, but eating some cranberries.
Oh.
Why cranberries?
Because.
They're healthier.
You're fucking oddball, aren't you?
Anyways, but I don't think that really happens anymore so much where there is sexual harassment like that, other than the Joe Biden types.
I mean, I just wish that we perhaps had some statistic we can look at, and I don't know, this just didn't pander the people that think that the fucking West is just the rape center of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Maybe
like,
they should put the sandpaper on the shoulders so Biden quits sniffing girls.
No, you gotta put it on their head.
Okay, there we go. So it's a hat.
And there goes Damon again.
All of our products have sold out, but don't you worry, or do. These women's issues aren't going anywhere. So join again soon for more Women Be Shopping Network.
Well, considering some of them ended decades ago and they're still here, she's pretty much right about that.
I hope you're enjoying season 2.
Alright. Let's see, do we have any comments?
well, we made it. We made it.
Sadly.
Don't worry, we still have some more videos. Okay, let's see. King Cobra says something. Steel Fang's comments keep getting deleted. It's weird. I don't see his comments deleted, other than maybe it's deleting it on YouTube's end.
Yeah, no.
That happens.
It does happen, but even I have a position as moderator for the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no. Oh wait. Okay, so there's one message over here that says redacted, but there's literally only one message from Steel Fang that says message redacted, but nothing else seems to come up.
Now, let me see about Steel Fang's past comments here.
No, his past comments are there.
Like, is this one there?
Which one?
I have it up on the screen.
Timing is aerating when it comes to jokes. Let's see. I'm a bit far back, so let's see.
Yeah, looking at the stream, I don't see Steel Fang.
Yeah, that's weird. That comment isn't. Wait, what's the comment above? This woman is worse than Jimmy Kimmel. That's saying a lot. So that's the comment I should be looking for. Yeah, that message doesn't come up at all.
I don't know
What's
why.
happening with Steel Fang?
I can check my YouTube settings, see if there's something wrong.
Well, that always been saying one too many certain no words.
The gamer word.
This. Don't you dare even mention that.
Let's see. Anyways, I'll get the next video ready for us.
Are there black white supremacists? Check this out. Leave your comments. Ding the bell.
Absolutely.
What?
That's an easy question.
No.
Are you saying that they aren't? Wait, what exactly did he say? Did he say that they aren't?
Are there black white supremacists?
Oh, black white.
Okay.
What did y'all hear? Because that's what I heard the first time.
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
what.
I mean, I thought that he said that they weren't black supremacists.
No, he. Well, anyways, we'll go into that in just a sec. I'm just checking to see if my thing here, my settings, see if there's something wrong in my settings for the stream.
So the Twitter account Epic Funny Name, or Louder with Lupin, lost a bet recently, and now his avatar, his Twitter avatar, has now been changed to Anime Louder with Crowder.
Who?
Some time ago, Louder with Crowder had an anime team. I forgot, it was a parody of, what was it again?
Lupin the Third.
Yes. No. Evangelion anime parody Louder with Crowder. So that's what he had some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
We'll
this
need to get around to
person,
watching that.
and this person with the Twitter account named Louder with Lupin, or his Twitter handle is Epic Funny Name. Some time ago had this. How many retweets for you to make Crowder Lupin your AVI? He said, "Oh no." Step right up. He gave up 75. The thing got 97 retweets and over 3 quote tweets. I'm just saying this happened in the past hour. Now it's just fuck hashtag new profile pic and it's fucking Anime Crowder.
Well, anyways,
I just find this fucking funny.
anyways, I checked the comments. Unless there's only two things I can think. Unless someone who has the wrench and is deleting Steel Fang's comments, or YouTube is removing them personally. That's the only things I can say.
Yeah, but who else has the moderator position?
Let me see.
Do I have it?
I don't know. I can't remember if I gave you it or not. Let me check.
I know that
again.
I have it.
Yes, I know. Let's see. Community. So, Skaggles the Squirrel, Simon, Brian, Warm Potato, Southern Wolf, although his channel name is different here, Optimus Christ, Mr. Jackson Scales, Satan Satire, Critical Cracker, some person I had a while back, and Ferg, he hasn't been in a long time, and this other guy who hasn't been in a long time. So yeah, that's everything.
YouTube fucketry.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I can really think of is that YouTube, for whatever reason, is removing it. I don't know why. But anyways, sorry about that Steel Fang. If you have any other comments, I'll I'll share it on this stream just so everyone can see it. Any other later comments you have? Let's get on with the video.
You tell me YouTube is broken? That would never happen. YouTube is such a reliable website.
Are there
Anyway,
black white supremacists?
Oh, fuck, that's loud.
Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Diane.
I mean, that is a very ambitious question.
I totally agree that Trumpism is white supremacy. However, there are many whites that wholeheartedly supported him and still would, and would swear that's not the case because they have one or two black friends or acquaintances. They may be able to tolerate a few of us, yet they have no problem supporting all of the white supremacy policies that Trumpism reflects. And this leads me to believe that these people aren't sure what racism is. They're blacks who support Trump.
Okay.
And Latinos also.
Let her finish her talk.
All right.
And how can they be white supremacists? I firmly believe the GOP are nothing but white supremacists, which is why I don't get black Republicans. And I've been trying to convince a relatively intelligent friend of mine that all Trump supporters are racist, and she vehemently disagrees. Please help me.
She disagrees with me. Please help me. That's how I read it.
That's the nicest way that I've ever heard somebody handle that topic before, but I rapidly I very much disagree with her conclusion. I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know how I could, like, rebut someone with that kind of mindset. Like, I don't think there's anything I could say that would change your mind.
I mean,
she went from zero to racist in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that I would handle a situation like this is because she says that. What was that whole thing that she mentioned about black Republicans?
She doesn't get it because she thinks the Republican Party as a whole is racist.
No. She mentioned something later after that comment about something with black Republican politicians, and it's like, okay, point to me someone else from the Democrats who isn't Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I don't
and then you
know.
get an awkward.
This woman's obviously a black supremacist, and I don't give a F what she has to say.
I mean, I don't know if she's a black supremacist. She's probably just brainwashed.
Yeah,
but,
that's probably.
I mean, the only rebuttal I could think to give her would be just saying, well, considering how many black Republicans and Latino Republicans, maybe you should rethink your assumption.
Next.
Well, it's like this guy who wrote an article saying that 74 million Americans are supportive of white supremacists. It's the same thing. It's just like that they're just going to call them racists or white supremacists or white supremacist supporters because they're just so blind in their ideology.
And they just use hyperbolic language like it's nothing.
Exactly. And I don't think there is much you can say about it because these people are just so blind.
Yeah, and this is something I hear often from various people, that the best thing you can do is just win over the people who still, have an open mind, so they don't go towards the crazies.
Well, I do kind of have a theory behind why these people exist, and that's partially due to political hyperpartisan. Essentially trying to find a permanent voter base. So with Republicans, it was the Christians or the Catholics who felt that they were losing their influence, and for the Democrats, it was anyone and everyone who was black that they were trying to get. Because at this point, the black community is so much entrenched in the welfare state and the democratic mindset. They're trying to convince them, because they inherently disagree with some of these things, that they must mean that it reaches hyperbolic conclusion that the race is trying to kill them all.
Well, I mean, it's not just with black people, but like I see it all the time with LGBT Republicans that were, quote, self-hating and supporting a party that wants to kill us, which is obviously not true. Like, the Republican Party now is so different from the 90s.
I mean, even the party in the 90s weren't that bad. But, like, it's something that... So we sort of live in a post-truth era, and to kind of explain what that kind of is, like, imagine that you're reading a story and a dragon goes and kills somebody's family, and the guy seeks out to go get revenge on that dragon. But you know the story isn't factually true because, well, A, dragons don't exist, and B, the point of the story is that you emphasize as the main character wanting to go seek revenge and kill the dragon. It feels right. Mm-hmm. And so in a time and era where there's so much information, so little time to check it, in a population, I'm just saying, that's just very lazy, easily indoctrinated, they just go off of what feels true. And so, like, some woman who, I believe she was gay, and her parents were very much Christian and very much against her, she had such a bad experience with them that I think it would be very hard off her personal experiences alone to ever persuade her to a libertarian or Republican influence. And I think anecdotal experiences do contribute to that. Like what's the likelihood that you would ever, in some strange universe, let's just say Antifa wasn't crazy, batshit, or communist, just bear the fuck with me, but yet they go and they fuck a bunch of people up, you know?
Well, I think that plays some effect to it, but I think the other thing is just that the left has control over everything in the sense of media and information. It's control of everything. They're able to spread out their lies and there's no consequence. That's why I'm still in favor of having that people should be able to sue news media for putting out blatantly false or lying about information. I think they should be held... I don't think government officials should be able to sue, but individual people, I should believe, should be able to sue media organizations for putting out blatant lies or grossly negligent news.
And going back to what you're saying, puts like, I've seen this in even non-political settings. Like, for example, in cartoon fandoms, people will like ship characters together in relationships, and they'll act like, oh, it has to be this way, even though it's not confirmed by the creator or anything, and they'll bully others for theirs.
Neko, I'm gonna have to disagree with you over here. The Steven Universe fandom doesn't represent everyone who enjoys cartoons.
In fairness,
I've seen this in multiple fandoms.
I know that there's unfortunately too many. I mean, it's actually what caused some of the writing issues in Adventure Time, I found out, interestingly enough.
Well,
because the creators of Adventure Time became so fucking lazy that they basically gave fan fiction writers the ability to write episodes, and they wrote their ships into official canon. Which
another issue this happened in was the Voltron fandom, like the people who shipped like Lance and Keith like were giving death threats to voice actors, writers, pretty much everyone they thought disagreed with them. So
that's
they
just
changed
ridiculous.
a lot in the last 2 seasons. Yeah, and that's the point. Like, I think like Putza was saying, like, it is like people so emotionally driven, like, logic be damned.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I feel like Christianity hasn't died. Sure, they can't justify their belief, but why the hell would they ever give something like that up, you know? But anyway, another point that I sort of wanted to make is that, the left has a very big monopoly. I think part of the reason is Confucianism is a thing, and to kind of explain that, looking at ideologies, especially in the 90s, or not the 90s, but like early 20th century. So I was doing a bit of research on fascism, and it turns out what it actually translates in Italian is nationalist syndicalism of actualism, and essentially a syndicate is another version of a corporation. So the U.S. has a quasi-syndicalist system with all its corporations and trade unions mixing with a public economy or a private economy. And so one element that it sort of took from other structures, now I'm not saying the Nazis invented this or anything, but you look at like public sectors, public education, welfare, all those ideas, like reading a bit of the Communist Manifesto, it's like that, but it's mixed together with an actual semi-private economy. And that is another reason that I think a lot of people are leaning towards the left. Like, especially someone who lives in the city, if they're on welfare, they're going to have a leftist bias. If they've been under a public education system, they're going to have a leftist bias. This, unfortunately, the state is using these means to, well, help indoctrinate people. Like, for God's sakes, I watched a vegan documentary when I was in school, in high school.
Oh boy, I went to a private education for my whole time in India. No boy, was that shit. Because, like, global affairs, one of the things that the fucking Cambridge system taught us is spreading the wealth from Europe to the rest of the world.
Sorry to keep dropping in and out. Freaking thunderstorm.
Well, anyways, I think we
Well,
should
it's called
continue
Florida.
Continue on with the next video because I think we touched the main point of this video.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch any point of this video.
Too late, you're already involved.
Let's
A grooming gang.
continue. We're going on to the next video.
Let's go next to Enrique from Los Angeles. I presume California.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Hi, David.
Los Angeles, I would assume
Yeah.
California.
Just wanted to say, like, all the racial stuff going on, the killings of the...
Demon, be kind to the guy. It's pretty obvious he has very few functioning cells
I
left.
don't know if it's kind of a weird point, but as a child, I always felt
Obviously.
that, as a Hispanic child, Chicano child, I always felt and I knew that all of these, since I was a kid, Republicans, when I was a kid, it was Reagan, right? And that was the talking point. I just always knew that it was always based around race.
Mm.
That was in my heart. Everything, all the rhetoric, all the laws, the morality, the this, the that, abortions, and the fact, I always felt in my heart, I could be wrong, but I still feel the same way today, and it's being exposed now because of how, the Republicans are just saying it out loud, but it's just all about race.
But so give me an example of that. Give me an example of something.
I just find it ironic when, people say that everything is about race for Republicans when literally everything is about race for the Democratic Party right now.
I mean, I don't know of any... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I think the speaker, randomly threw out, abortion is, about race, which is so bizarre because, I mean, we know why Planned Parenthood exists.
Yeah,
I mean,
we probably shouldn't mention it, but we know why.
Yes, let's continue.
That is all about race, even though some people might not realize it. What are you talking about?
Well, when the Republicans talk about, they want to protect the democracy.
Okay.
Our great democracy, and then they're voting. They're trying to make voting harder, right? That's all about race.
Yeah, but they aren't really doing that. They're making voting secure through a very simple mean.
I mean, if
anything that I can say that Republicans could be argued as to making voting harder is by removing mail-in votes. But just hear me this out. Because, if I understood it correctly from what Outlaw explained to me, that in the US y'all have very few official, voting areas.
It depends on the state.
Okay.
As I said, in California, we have a lot of voting areas. In other states, they have very few.
In my state, I can ride my bike to the polling station. It's right
I don't
down
even
the
need
road.
to... When I need to vote for election, I don't even need to do that. It's just a walk at the end of the neighborhood.
And as for the voting thing, it's blown out of proportion because you don't need... I mean, first of all, getting a state ID isn't hard, but even if you don't have that, you can use your social security or even a utility bill to prove where you live. So it is not that hard to prove.
Yes,
Yes,
you,
but
you seem to realize a problem with the Democratic voter base, which is the inability to unbury themselves, or the inability to read or prove that they're American.
well, Neko,
That was a
here's how
stupid
we prove Democrats are the real racists. Black people and minorities are too stupid to go get an ID. It's
Exactly.
really easy. You go to the DMV. Well, they don't know where the DMV is. What, are they functionally retarded?
Everyone has smartphones. Exactly.
Well, I do have some sense I'd like to throw in there. I do think that perhaps just most Democrats just think that every minority is illegal. They weren't legally there.
Well, no. You can say it like this. You want me to say it?
Sure.
Not every Democratic voter is illegal, but every illegal is a Democratic voter. You can't lie. That is true at this point.
Fact check
Especially if you're in
true.
Southern Texas.
Anyways,
I mean,
this can. Yes.
I don't think that it's unreasonable that the U.S. that has 20 million illegal immigrants would want to verify if you're a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do get Koreans and some Europeans that do jump the border. So, it's not
Hey,
just
remember, the first guy who tried to do a political assassination before the 2016 election was a British guy who was staying in the United States illegally.
Yeah.
Hey, how did World War One start? Some Latvian dude?
So God.
Anyways, let's continue.
A reason for why they're doing this A, B, and C, but the reality, none of that is true. It's they don't want the country to change.
I think that
That's
there
what
may be, in some sense, it might be the reverse. I mean, let me think this through. So there's no doubt that a lot of Republican voter suppression
What's wrong with
is
the
meant
script?
to make it more difficult for minorities to vote. But that's because they know minorities mostly aren't going to vote for them. If they believed minorities were going to vote for them, I think they would try to increase minority voting. I think in some sense it might be reverse causation.
Well, another example, which I saw my cousins go through this. You know, they lived in a worse part of town than I did here in LA. You know, the police situation.
Yeah.
There's these groups in LAPD and sheriff's department where they're white nationalists.
Right. Well, that's
You know
a
what I mean?
problem
Like-
not just in LA. I mean, white nationalism in law enforcement is that's a big problem.
White nationalism
Oh.
in police is not a problem at all.
I mean,
Hate him.
technically it has been found there, but it's not a widespread problem.
Yeah.
I was gonna point out that the LAPD is one of the worst police departments in the United States. So with a
They
long
always
history.
have been. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but a
just
long-
the LAPD.
Yeah, for a long series of various things, you know, connection to one thing or another, and you know, just overall stupid things that they've done. For example, the one which I found absolutely baffling, and then the LAPD had a gall to say that we were doing the right thing or something like that, was when there was a cop killer. Yeah, the guy had killed 4 cops already. I think the situation was. He left in a black sedan. Keep that in mind, a black sedan. Police tracked down a blue pickup, 4 police cars, thinking that this is the right person, even though it was driven by 2 Hispanic women. They shot the damn thing and put over 25 holes in it, along with a bunch of other holes in other cars, and then tried to argue that we just made an honest mistake. You knew what car he was driving. You know it was a black guy, and you still shot up a blue pickup.
And why would you shoot at a car that's not firing at you?
Okay. I do have some sense in this. I don't think that the U.S. Most U.S. police stations or police institutions are racist. I just think they're very corrupt. Like, for instance, I was
Like politicians?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was talking to a buddy who friend's buddy. He got shot. He got mugged. Okay, bullet went through and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy, he did sell drugs. Okay, but the thing is, the reason how they caught him is because he was shot near his house. They expanded the crime scene to include his house, and then he got arrested. Like it was like really ridiculous. Like he lived a mile away from it. And then after that, he was in prison. They tried to go. The guy had a really good lawyer, and they tried to stall the lawyer from getting in there. And they kept trying to sign him to some shitty state representative lawyer when he knew he had a lawyer. It was like an hour before the guy even got in there. And that's just impartially. It's not that I don't view that these police stations are corrupt and everything. Like you look at New York, their police precincts are pretty fucking diverse. The racial support for Black Lives Matter is over the roof. Like this isn't South Africa. It's not a fucking apartheid system. like fucking Belgium mercenaries aren't cutting up black people and trading in their arms for fucking currency. You know?
Well, in general, the police force is the most racially diverse occupation, so it's funny to like paint this as some huge problem. But you are right that they are corrupt, and like with teachers, I blame the unions because they let them get away with crap.
Yeah, and that's
fucking syndicalist.
That's the one thing I don't get is like, why don't they ever talk about if even if you like the teachers union, let's just say you want to keep the teachers union, fine. Why don't we at least get rid of the police union? Like, why not just get rid of that? There's no reason for the government to get into unions, especially police union. Like, why don't they ever argue getting rid of the police union?
Confucianism. Again, they're trying to keep everyone happy. That's just my opinion.
Several levels of retardation by the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Z, you
Yeah.
want to take that last comment and I'll answer it in order?
Which one?
125 or 12 Shy Guy. I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Okay, which way?
This comment?
Yeah.
What do you think of David Pac-Man?
It's Pac-Man, I believe, not Pac-Man.
I'm still going to say Pac-Man because I'm a fucking gaming nerd.
Anyways, he's just a more slightly refined, radical socialist. That's what he is. He's more refined in his points. Although he still does it shittily, he's better at it than some of the others.
I have no idea who this is.
That's David Pac-Man, the one person we're watching the video on.
Alright.
Oh.
Huh?
Anyways, Steelfang has a comment here.
The children being thrown over the border should be sent to a Republican family to be raised Republican, and the idea to work hard and responsible and to be
I like this.
Democrats.
I like this.
That's gonna end up in a fucking bizarro universe.
He might be onto something.
Well, this is very off topic, but I do talk a lot about postmodernism, and their allies is just anyone who they can get a hold of. Like, sure, a lot of these immigrants might agree with them on the grounds that they'll let them stay in their country, but once when that isn't a problem anymore, they're just going to go back to being right wing. So,
I really don't think so. I really don't think so. I think they're so entrenched, even regardless of that they're so entrenched into the idea of voting for Republicans.
I'm not talking about
for not voting for Republicans.
Well, I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about like way into the future, like taking 100 years from now, like Catholic. A lot of Catholics, I think at least 90% of the Mexican population, they're Catholic, all right, and they don't change these Catholic views. So, 100 years ago, especially when their populations start to quadruple, outweighing the white Democrat or the leftist populations, ones that are hyperly into post-leftism or postmodernism, they're kind of, in my opinion, going to get fucked in many regards. Like, the socialist policies may not stay, but we're about Roe versus Wade or a couple other stuff. Like, the family unit's going to dominate because in their culture, that's pretty strong. They're not deconstructing these things.
Well, their culture also involves a grandmother that beats you off to death with a stick.
Yes. That's just it. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, let's continue with the video.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's real. It's infiltrated. You know, it's not true. It's not real. Son,
Would you stop skipping?
We live in an area which is Asian and white, and
Yep.
you know, it's I have a hard time, you know, figuring out how to explain things to my son, and you know, race is just such a big part of being a person of color, you know.
There he said
in America, it's just.
What's a question your son will ask that you
I
struggle to answer?
Semi-agree with that.
You agree with what?
That the black community does see a lot of their issues for race, or at least something comes up. Like, I have a black boss, and I try legitimately not to say anything that would be offensive, you know?
Well, it's because the Democrats have weaponized racial issues.
Yeah,
So
well, I just think, in fairness, most people, like, clearly, if you go to a Jewish man's house, you don't want to bring bacon, you know?
Oh,
Like,
you do not want to do that.
I would.
Of course you would, Demon.
But my point is that I think that some people are at least self-conscious of the race or identity.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I think we've heard enough of this video. Why don't we go into the next one?
If I went to a black person's house, I'm definitely taking bacon.
Let's go next to Tristan from Kansas City, Missouri. Tristan, you're on the air.
That boy need to do something with his hair.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So
I can barely.
What the hell is going on? Is that a toupee?
I actually climbed up the pipeline to deconvert myself from a stage of conspiracism. So in 2016, I was basically QAnon before QAnon was a big thing.
Really? Like, what were your beliefs?
Okay, I'm still convinced that QAnon is still not a big thing.
It really isn't a big thing.
No.
It never has been a big thing.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it was just something curious that people looked at, and they were like, yeah, okay.
The amount of people QAnon has is less than 1% of the U.S. population.
Is it even 1%?
That's why I said less than 1.
Yes, but it's more important if it's even 1, and I don't even think it reaches 1 million.
I used to read it just because I wanted to laugh.
Anyways, I want to continue, so everyone be quiet so we can hear what the heck the person's saying, because they're so darn quiet.
Wait a moment. Roy, our good old friend Roy over here left me a comment on Discord, and sure as hell he could not leave this comment on YouTube. So, do y'all want to hear it?
What is it?
It's fucking funny. I now have the mental image of David Pac-Man being chased by KKK members, those being the ghosts.
That's good, Roy. Good job.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Okay, that's funny. Anyways, let's continue.
To conspiracy theorists that basically said that Obama was going to declare martial law and all that crap. And
yeah.
He was going to lock all the Christians in FEMA camps, and they showed all this quote-unquote evidence that, you know, that pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. I found that before it was even, like, popular.
Now, let me ask you this. This is super...
I don't think any of those things were ever popular.
No.
I really don't. Like, my dad, for example, he really hates Obama. He had hated Obama, but he never believed in any of those kinds of weird conspiracies.
Yeah, I don't remember those, like, being taken seriously.
Yeah, you know, there are a couple of conspiracy theories that are taken semi-seriously, and those are probably mostly 9/11, and that kind of does concern me.
I still think Hillary Clinton eats babies.
Anyways, let's continue.
Interesting. Let's take one of those, which is Obama will lock up Christians in FEMA camps. When you fell for that, did you actually go through in your head?
The reason for coming on here is to tell you that there are more people like that than you think. You go to, you know, to find a radical leftist, it's really hard to find. You could probably find...
What?
You go on Twitter. It's not hard.
Yeah,
you don't even need to do that. You just need to go to my school district.
The fact you're literally on the channel of you're literally on the channel of a radical leftist, so it's really quite easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Like,
just go to Reddit and type in r/politics.
Yeah.
Go to Reddit. No, better yet, go to any fucking furry website and you will find a shit ton of radical leftists.
That or go to
Yeah.
an Antifa or BLM protest. You don't find a whole shit ton of radical leftists.
Just go to Portland.
Oh no!
Well,
find,
listen, but the only thing that needs to happen is another black guy dies and then the fucking cities
Oh,
are burned
God.
up. Okay,
So
okay,
it's
probably a
important.
little too much.
These people
Yes,
don't live in reality. What the hell is wrong with them?
Well, that's why he believed in the conspiracy theories.
To be fair, I do believe in a couple of conspiracy theories, but that's because they're semi-reasonable.
Oh yeah, like the ones with the fact that of the Clintons' body count.
Oh, shut up before you get us all killed.
Anyways, let's continue.
You could probably find some at some college campuses, but I swear to God, these people, these crazy QAnon people, they exist at every single dollar store you go to in the
Right.
Midwest.
Right.
And I want to know, David.
Pause for a moment. I got a stupid joke / honest comment. If you're gonna take someone fucking serious who's gonna be buying food at a dollar store, you have a problem.
Yeah, that's why the guy's on this show to start with.
Yeah,
If he
but
believed in that, it makes sense why he goes the complete opposite way.
I mean,
Okay,
to be
that's
fair to the guy, I do
extremely
get a
arrogant.
fair bag of snacks. I do get a lot of snacks from Dollar Tree, but I don't fucking feed myself through Dollar Tree.
that's what
Yeah.
I was more saying. If you actually feed yourself or your children, or you regularly buy food.
I mean,
That
that's
you
a
need
lot
to
of
survive.
microwavable foods. Jesus.
How
Wait,
arrogant do you
microwave-
have to be like, oh, these people are they're all Dollar Tree. It's like,
I-
you snarky son of a bitch.
Oh, hey, listen, I love Andy's cheeseburgers, but I couldn't eat Andy's cheeseburgers all day.
My
I don't
stomach
even have any idea what you're talking about, because here in Europe, our equivalent is of course the Euroshop, but food in the Euroshop will kill you. It's basically either industrial runoff or unrefined plastic. That's what you'll find in Euroshop stores.
Anyways, let's continue.
If you
All right,
how
let's
you
listen to
handle
this.
all of this, how you handle all of this insanity, like does it keep you up at night? Are you like nervous for our future? Because the further we get into this and the further we get into seeing our climate getting destroyed and
Yep.
seeing all of this misinformation come, does it ever scare you for the future knowing that more and more people are losing their minds?
Well,
Because it's
listen, the
collective-
only
It's interesting how they say everyone on the right is losing their minds when it's literally everyone on the left that seems to be losing their minds, at least in the media sense.
Hey,
It-
Rational,
Yes?
look at him. You think he's gay?
No, I'm pretty sure the guy's straight.
I don't think so.
Nah, he looks like a gay twink Sylvester Stallone with that lip. Come on, I can't be the only one thinking that he looks a bit like Sylvester Stallone, who has that fucking...
Anyways, I think we touched the main point of this video. I don't think we need to go on to
Yeah,
the
but
rest.
I don't want to
Didn't
touch
scare
the
them
main
off.
point of any David Pakman piece.
Oh, he's from Argentina. No wonder he's far left.
Really?
No, didn't they throw them out of helicopters? Pinochet.
Chile.
Was that Chile? I thought it
I
was
think it was
Argentina.
Chile. I think it was Chile, if I'm not mistaken.
But anyways,
I think Argentina.
but yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
it's interesting how they suddenly go from like weird conspiracies on the right to then weird conspiracies on the left. It's just they really don't get out of the bubble. They just switch to a different bubble.
That's a good point. That does seem to happen. Like even with the furry fandom, like they'll go from communist to all right or whatever, or the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
I just wear the wonderful Hugo Boss clothes. They're comfy.
Like for example, let's take a look at Hunter Avalon. He had some really dumb things that he'd said like on the right, and now he's just doing dumb things on the left. There's many examples in which we can find which people who believed in weird or dumb things before on the right now believe in weird and dumb things on the left.
Yeah, but I think you have to take, whereas this guy seems crazy, Hunter Avalon seems more like he's doing it as a business strategy, going to which side will
I don't know.
sucker
I
up
think
the
he
other.
actually believes what he says.
I just like instead of like parroting the right, he's now parroting the left.
Mhm.
Like it's still a case of it just feels like he's repeating what other people say, not
I
saying
mean-
anything new or different.
To be fair, doesn't Hunter Avalon kind of have more of an incentive now? Isn't he like a father now or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a father now.
So you
I
could
didn't
also
think that'd make
consider
him
that.
left wing.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of there could also be a incentive for, to play the political good boy if you want on the internet to ensure that he has money.
I have a lot to say about Hunter and Avalon, but
Yes, we know you say that
I'll
every
get us
time.
banned.
Anyways, let's continue on to the next video. This one is by Now This.
Oh.
They're always great.
Oh no.
What? What?
I decided I would try to trace the transition in the Western world from valuing voluptuous figures to valuing slender ones. And what I found was that it had everything to do with the growth of the slave trade.
Or just hear me out. It had to do with the fact that we realized being fat was unhealthy, and that influenced our view of fat and slender bodies.
No, originally, to be really fat was to be a symbol of wealth, but industrialized slenders changed.
Just like of how both in traditional Chinese and European culture, the whiter you are, the more of a sign of wealth it was because of the less work you have to do, or or like in more precisely ancient China, it was the longer your pinky nail was, because it showed off that you had to do very little work.
In much of Asia, actually, whiter skin was seen as wealthy.
Yeah, even in Europe, it was seen as wealthy if you had very pale skin.
India
and
has
now,
a caste
and
system.
since like the early 20s, it switched around, especially in Europe, where it became the whole thing that, for women at least, to have a tan color because that meant that you had more money because you could travel more. So that's like an example of change. But to give some physical data, if you want, or something that we can call physical data to oppose what she's saying, a lot of the island nations in the oceanic region, around Australia, they still live through the old tribal value that the fatter you are, the more the more wealthy or the more fertile you are, as it is. And the reason why I'm pointing out about this is because YouTube recommended me a couple of years ago this interesting video of people who travel to Australia to both make money and get fatter, and then regretted it because they found out the hard way that their side of the genetic pool isn't really good towards sugar. So it resulted in a hilariously high rate of diabetes.
Yeah, and everything in Australia wants to kill you, so. Even the koalas.
Oh, the koalas are endemic with syphilis.
Hey, don't say that about Roy. Roy is our good koala.
No, it's because basically the species so long ago had a syphilis problem that the ones that survived had syphilis. So,
Hey, are you picking on one of our only 6 or 4 viewers?
No, I'm shitting upon an entire species that had such a big syphilis problem that some time ago that the fucking San Diego Zoo, whose tiger got loose and ate the koala, got fucking syphilis.
Holy shit.
The Tiger King show just got more interesting.
Anyways,
but y'all didn't know that.
Let's continue.
In the early years of slavery, voluptuous physiques were prized because slavery and the Renaissance were coterminous. And by a couple of centuries on, in the middle of the 18th century, it was very common for race scientists to suggest that, race is not just about skin color. It's also about behavior and appearance. We know that Europeans are the most superior, most disciplined, most rational of all the races.
Well, if you want to go into
I
that
mean-
further, those same scientists, depending on which country they're from, would say, well, for example, the French scientists would say the French are the most superior of all the Europeans. And then the
Yeah.
British would say the British are the most superior of all Europeans. And
Yeah,
you know,
fucking Japan did that.
Yeah, that was
Every-
The funny thing is like
Every
how the left.
single race does it.
every single race and ethnic group has done it.
I mean,
yeah, because I was reminded of the whole thing where back in India they still to act European as a bad thing.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're you, then yeah, Z, that is a bad thing.
Oh,
Because you're
look
a
at this
piece of crap.
comment here.
Well, someday
Yeah,
I will
we all
kind
like you, Roy. I'm still not gonna hug you. I do not want syphilis.
Don't worry, Roy, I'll hug you.
you know, if you come across me, I'm gonna sell you.
Jeez.
Roy, yeah, I'll probably sell you too.
We went from being we went from emotional but rational, which is me, to emotional, which is outlaw, to just slavery.
Now, listen, I was just being honest, and I tell you this that because I love you, so just don't come anywhere near me.
Anyways, Jeff, like, what do you mean by ship? Do you mean shipping me with, like, are you talking about like
He's
ship
already with
romance?
Z.
This is getting uncomfortable again.
I'm just curious as to what Jeff means by this. Do you mean shipping me with someone, like shipping me with Z, or shipping me with like?
Holy
fictional
shit! You know what?
character?
Let me bring my avatar. All right, you can ship us. I need some fan art.
Wait, what?
Well, they can ship me with Z. I mean, Z's soda is a green dragon of sorts.
Oh god, I don't
No
want to
wings.
fucking imagine that. Jesus Christ!
All right.
What's wrong
all
with
right,
you?
So, Outlaws in Cali. I say we ship him to Southeast Asia and sell him as a Thai lady boy,
Fuck you.
and then we're done with him.
Anyways,
You know, no, I got an idea.
knew
You know,
where
I'll
this-
bring you to every eastern town I can find and say, "This is where the West is heading." I'm kidding, mostly.
anyways,
Kinda.
as far as shipping me with the character, I don't really have a problem with that. People want to do that; that's their prerogative. But if you want to do fan art of me and Z, I'm completely okay with that. I'd be
Yeah,
Well,
fine
keep
you
with
in
do
mind,
with
anyone
Ichigo.
else that you start to do this whole ship situation when, I will find you.
Oh, jeez. Anyways,
I just hate that. I hate that term,
ship.
and I hate this bitch with the top knot. She's
Anyways,
appropriating Japanese culture.
Let's continue.
And that's why they
Before
are
we
at the top
continue,
of
I
our
just have
racial-
one last statement. Anyone can contact me in my Discord. I will send pictures of demons so you can ship him with whoever you want. Give as
I
many
don't care. I
references as
show my
needed.
face all the time.
You say that, but then just wait till someone comes up with an idea of like you making out with Adolf Hitler.
Oh, I
and
remember
you
the
see
perfect
how-
image I once showed of Demon joking. Wonder if I can find it again.
What?
I showed this
What?
image.
Everybody has my
pornographic image of what I said. Is this you, Demon, or something? I can't remember.
Wait, what?
I would say everybody has my picture. Everybody's seen my face. Like,
Oh no, I'm not talking about your actual face. I'm talking about your sort of Sona.
You know what? There's been at least a bunch of content of us running around. I'm gonna do the unthinkable right now. Just a little search. Just continue playing the video. I'd rather not anger Demon. He's already enslaved me. I make it. What?
yes, Roy, you will get whipped.
What is he talking about?
Also, Steel Fang. It's not a persona. It's a demon sona, I guess.
Oh god.
I am his infernal shortness, and you shall refer to me as that.
What?
I don't
What
know.
is going on anymore?
It was just some shit I made up.
I'm gonna see if I can try to find again. I'll put a censored one probably in the Discord. I don't know. Steelfang, are you in my Discord? Just leave a comment. If you're not, I can send a link to it.
Wouldn't
God, I
it
love our
already be in the video description down here?
No, that's only for yours.
Well, they can still join mine, and it's easier that way.
Yeah, if anybody joins my Discord or Z's or Rationals, there's probably a picture of me there.
No, I think he's talking about the one I was talking about, the one I've sent you previously before, jokingly.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, let's continue with the video.
Hierarchies. But we also think that Black people are overly sensuous. They love sex. They love food. And as a result, they are chock full of venereal diseases and they are overweight. So from this...
Well, currently, a large percentage of Black people are overweight. A large percentage of them are very obese, comparatively to the rest of the U.S. population.
So wasn't like the worst offenders on my 600-pound live series for Black people?
I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
We have the seedlings of our current aesthetic system, which suggests that white, slender bodies, especially women's bodies, are valuable. But fat bodies, and especially fat Black bodies, are worth denigration.
I'm pretty sure it's just fat bodies in general. I don't think they
Yeah,
care
like
about the
you
race.
see plenty of like slender minorities in like, say, Victoria magazine, for example. Like they have no problem showing other races.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's plenty of fat white chicks. Like this is nonsensical. Oh, just play it.
It's not just about health. This is clearly about aesthetics. This is about disciplining women often, and it's also about
It is
population
about
management.
health.
People often feel uncomfortable with fat bodies, and so they do not want people themselves to feel comfortable gaining weight or being fat, especially when those people are women. And that goes back to the legacy of slavery and the ways in which the male gaze is often trying to regulate women's bodies, such that they only have the right to look in particular ways.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
Shall I say one offensive comment?
What?
I don't think
Please
a
say
slave
many.
I don't think a slave owner will particularly like a fat slave. That kind of implies that you're feeding them more than they work.
Yeah, I don't think that actually slaves probably were all that fat during that time. I think that
I
happened.
seriously doubt it. They were probably pretty skinny.
The only one I can think of is, the what is it, Mammy Two Shoes stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the original owner of Tom and Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like long ago.
Anyways, let's continue.
It wasn't until the 1980s around that the medical field started to use BMI. BMI, they admitted, was both flawed and arbitrary, but they adopted it anyway.
It's technically true. BMI is not the most accurate.
It's not the most accurate, however, it's the easiest to measure on a quick basis. If you use other methods, it would take longer.
Also, the only way I can think of when BMI gets kind of messed up is, for example, with me. I have very little muscle. I am fairly chubby, but my BMI is okay. But that doesn't mean I'm exactly in good health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And that's
But it's just a
obviously
basic
somewhere-
metric. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the issues with BMI can be solved with a little thing called observation. Because if someone is 5'4" and weighs 300 pounds, you don't need the BMI to tell them that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And
we can
plus,
see the
that's
wreckage.
obviously in Europe because the date's backwards, and they're measuring people in stones and kilograms and meters. I don't know how y'all do that, Z.
First off, we don't measure in stones. That would be British. Only the British ever measure anything in stones, and I don't get it. Meters and kilograms is just standard. I mean, literally, you're the only country that uses stuff
it's
like
like
Fahrenheit.
base 10 system. It's not hard.
We can say you can go F yourself, with yourself, inside yourself. Okay?
Okay, then tell me what's the conversion rate between ounces and pounds again?
Well, anyways, regardless of that, read the comment
No. Don't you dare try to change the subject. Tell me, what's the conversion rate between ounces and pounds? Because in fucking
16
metric,
ounces makes a pound.
Okay, because in fucking metric, we have a 1,000 grams equals a kilogram.
I know everything is 10 times 10 times 10. I know how
Yes,
to do
it is
metric.
fucking simple.
I
Anyways.
know the metric system. I just don't like it.
Roy,
Because
read Roy's comment.
I know it's only an anecdote, but every time I'm put in a cage, I can do next to nothing, and people rush to give me food and pet me.
Don't worry, I can change that.
Oh god.
Maybe we should get a, those cattle prods. We'll just put Roy in a cage and just... bzzz.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
But anyways,
is that illegal?
You
Yes.
said, Jeff, that your phone glitched. I'm wondering if you were able to hear what we said earlier about the whole shipping. Were you talking about shipping my Sona with other people's characters? What did you mean by that, if you're able to answer? Anyways, now let's go on to Steel Fang's comment here.
Z, that's not true. I use metrics 9mm, 10mm. Okay, first off, most ammunition is not in 10mm, unfortunately. Most armor is in 10mm. But that's a different situation. And yes, but I also like to point out, explain to me the stupid measurements of caliber, because that gets confusing.
Well, anyways, let's continue with the video.
That has resulted from that decision.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I like to see her and me run down a hill and see who makes it out alive. My stamina is shit, but I know I'm gonna live.
I'm just going to say that we can look at the exact death stats. The people who are dying of heart attacks, who have high blood pressure, who have cancer, are predominantly those of people who are overweight or obese.
Especially in the US. No offense.
So
Yeah,
even
if
if you
you're
want to
a
say
reasonably
whatever
intelligent
study was
person-
flawed with some bias, we can just look at the death stats.
That's if you're intelligent, rational. And these people obviously are not.
Anyways, let's continue.
That is to say, seemingly, there could have been almost no racial diversity in the studies that were used to create BMI, and we would today call this a form of colorblind racism.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Of course,
What?
back in the era of
fuck is
slavery, we
colorblind?
expected-
So, to essentially
what?
be egalitarian. Is what she meant to
Colorblind
say.
racism. What the fuck is that?
I mean, at worst, that would just be malevolent racism. Which
Against what? If you're colorblind? Against who?
I mean, are you just mad that they don't oppress you enough?
To add to the confusion with to add to the confusion with inches, I believe back then a Paris inch that was used in Paris, which may explain why Napoleon was thought of as short. Actually, no, Napoleon was thought of as short because of British propaganda always depicting him as a midget, as being a crying baby man to the rest of Europe. And unfortunately, as history tends to go, sometimes propaganda catches hold. Such as fun
that
fact.
was really effective propaganda.
I mean,
Such as-
yeah, that's why we have so many communists now.
Yes, but other examples of effective propaganda from the past, which is now taken as fact, is the Spanish Inquisition killed thousands of pagans and so on.
There's also the what was it? The propaganda that the U.S. political party switched.
That's some bullshit.
If you want a more recent propaganda, which then ironically turned out to be true, but not in the same manner, is that carrots are good for your eyes.
Yeah.
It came from
I remember hearing that.
No. I always heard it as a child because my mother always heard it, but it actually turns out that it was from British propaganda during World War II to try to confuse the Germans on info about radar, because radar was a new thing. So yeah.
Boy,
So
nobody ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, Monty Python joke. Got it.
No one expects them.
No, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah.
I'm expected that Europeans were the ones creating what constituted good and bad science. But these days, we live in a world of multiculturalism and inclusion, and we understand that white men in lab coats should not alone determine standards for the globe without research that is incorporating a diverse array of individuals.
Oh, what up, Ivory?
Okay, I need to respond to this.
Like, we've had decades of scientific breakthrough from other countries like Japan, which, surprise, aren't white.
Well, if you take in direct skin color, technically the Japanese are whiter than us.
Well,
only if you take direct skin color.
For the most part, I don't know. Is she trying to talk about how the fact that certain races can have certain diseases or ailments that may affect them differently compared to other races, or is she talking about just in general? She just wants more black doctors, kind of thing. If she's talking about in the more black doctors thing, no, you don't need to have more black doctors to have good science. That's not how it works. It's just you need to have good doctors.
Yeah.
The good scientists.
Hey, Ivory, did the Germans invent meth? I didn't think it was the Japanese.
No, the Japanese did invent meth, but
the Germans started using it.
They started putting it in their chocolate.
Hey, we used it.
No, y'all use cocaine.
Yeah, I was gonna say our pilots,
especially military-issued cocaine during the First World War. But yeah, irate prostate. I'm gonna hate you for needing me to say that out loud.
And as for his weight stigma,
I am talking about this, Outlaw. Do not intervene.
Yeah, but we're on a video. We can do that some other time.
Yes, but this is something that I have to acknowledge now because he's talking about something that I might be connected to.
He will make you the bottom bitch.
What?
Just go on, Z.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking torture you later. But, I'm gonna find a way to get you to be illegal. But anyways, yes, Germans did have radar, but unfortunately, radar was not a thing at the start of the war.
It was super easy, barely an inconvenience. Sorry.
And then the last one, Germans had night vision at the end of. Yes, but ironically enough, if you want to take in the facts, the Soviet Union actually developed the first night vision system and tested it in the late 30s. But yes, they made all of this, but as with most things, they were either too little too late, except for the German radar, because it came around the same time as the British. It's just that it's the ironic study that resulted into radar, because the initial purpose for radar was to shoot down planes. As Winston Churchill put out a commission to build basically a laser cannon to shoot down German airplanes. Yes, a guy did develop something, and on his first test try, it did not blow up the plane as tested, but it notified it from miles away. And in fact, when he tweaked the design to turn it into something to detect planes, on his very first try, he found a group of Luftwaffe bombers coming to England. So...
Okay, now onto the video. Now, the next point looks
Do
like...
we have to watch the rest of it?
Yes. The rest now it says also stigma.
Question, is this the last video?
No. This is they say there's stigma about weight prevalent in the United States across it. I would say no, that's actually less true today than it was like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, like there is far more stigma, I'd say, in East Asia than there is in America.
I'd say there's
America
far more
is
stigma.
America is the second most obese country in the world. So don't tell me there's a bunch of stigma.
Yeah, with all the advertising we see with fat bodies and everything, like there really is.
If there is stigma, maybe it's because of our obesity, we spend so much on healthcare. That's actually the number one reason why healthcare is so expensive.
Well, what's one major reason. The other major reason is, obviously government
Bureaucracy,
regulation.
yeah.
But
Do you know what the stigma is?
Regardless of healthcare wise, there is less stigma today, and frankly, I think that's a sad thing that there's less stigma today, because I think there should be more stigma. Because the U.S. is way too fat. It just really is.
Outlaw, how long have you been looking in the mirror today?
Fuck you. I know I've gained weight, okay? I'm losing it. I'm working on my diet.
I told you I would punish you in this video. But anyways, I would like to point out that if you want to see a unique situation, I would tell you to look at Indian numbers, because India both suffers a starvation and obesity problem simultaneously.
Hey, fat boy, restart the video.
Fuck you, demon.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you later.
All right, peace out.
Yeah.
And that's number 4.
Which is
Why do we have
perfectly
to look at
reasonable.
people's
They're
feet?
more at risk.
So you talk to doctors there, and they say things like, we are interested in the holistic portrait of our patients. That means when they come in, they can take their weight, but their weight is not going to be the main thing they're going to talk to them about. They're going to talk to them about their family history, their dietary practices, their exercise.
Literally the same thing happens in the United States.
It's no effing different.
Yeah. Every time I go to the doctor, they do a few things. 1, they check your weight. 2, they check your blood pressure. Next, they talk about if you're exercising and your diet. Like, this is this exact same thing you get in the United States.
It is. That's exactly the same thing they ask me when I go to the doctor. They take my heart rate, my blood pressure. It's the same damn thing.
This is universal.
It's universal.
I don't know what this bitch is on about, but I hate her.
You hate everyone, demon.
This is
That's
true.
why he's a demon.
Anyways, I think we've watched enough of this video. Now we go on to the next this video.
Oh, God.
Oh, God damn it. Another one?
Hey, we got 2 more, okay?
2 more?
No, I'm out. I'm leaving.
No, you're not leaving.
I'm leaving.
Fine, we'll only do 1 more.
Yes, thank you.
We'll do this one.
I hate
This legislation is an attack on a movement.
Oops.
Was that a man or a woman?
We'll find out,
I
maybe.
couldn't tell.
How dare you assume?
There we go.
This legislation is an attack on a movement. There is no
Well,
such
why
thing
not?
as
The
a protest
protesters use
without
deadly
social,
violence.
political, and economic disruption. So I am sorry that the representative was inconvenienced when he and his wife decided to go to the.
You said to look at this comment.
I love how Neko.
Don't you compare me to Neko, Roy.
Oh, by the way, Neko, what did you send in the private chat? Because I can't open it in Germany.
Oh, that's weird. It was just a scene from John Wick.
I know, but if I click onto it, YouTube gives me the wonderful, video unavailable. This video contains content from Tele München, Fernsehen. I can't read this fucking shit anymore, and I cannot read all of this fucking company names. Who has blocked it in your country on copyright grounds?
Well, it was just a scene from John Wick, showing like what actual silencers sound like. Because you know how Hollywood makes.
Yeah, an actual silencer is like clack. It doesn't do the pew pew thing.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
The store, but Breonna Taylor, but George Floyd, Michael Brown, they were all inconvenienced. And they're all
Isn't
dead.
Michael
They
Brown
don't
the one
get
who was
shot.
like robbing black
They don't
people
get
the
to
whole
go take
time?
their little.
Yeah, he robbed a store, and then he took a cop's gun and tried to shoot him. Like, Michael Brown deserved to die. I'm sorry.
And
was
of
Michael
course,
Brown the one, the hands up, don't shoot, or was that a different one?
Well,
I
that
think
was
it
hands
was
up,
that
don't
one.
shoot, which never happened. It's
No,
all
no,
Yeah.
which one was that? Which was that with Michael Brown, or
It was
that
Michael Brown.
Okay.
George Floyd.
Ironically enough,
overdosed.
in the European school that I was in back in India, they had us do some investigation on this as part of a global affairs course on Michael Brown. And I remember the teacher didn't like me from what I found because I found clips of black people just saying, "I'm glad that he's dead. He's been terrorizing us for weeks."
Yeah,
So didn't
George
like the
Floyd
truth.
put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly. He robbed people, he beat people, and then he OD'd. George Floyd is not a hero. I'm sorry. Michael Brown is not a hero. He tried to kill a cop and got shot because he's a jackass. And as far as Breonna Taylor goes, well, her boyfriend was selling drugs, robbing people, and ripping people off. And when the cops came in, he fired at them, and they fired
well, that doesn't
back.
mean she should have died.
Oh, the only thing well, he didn't die. She died.
Yeah, he
well,
didn't
that's what
die,
I
she
meant.
died.
She shouldn't have.
Well,
she wasn't the one doing it.
My whole thing is with let's just go as far as the Breonna Taylor thing. The only thing I can say that can be legitimately criticized now is the fact that it was done at night and not in like the morning.
Yeah, I don't think Breonna Taylor should have died. It like her boyfriend should have, but she didn't really do anything. So,
anyways, just continue.
Unfortunately,
Sisters or babies to a baseball game. They had, in those moments, that life was taken away from them.
is this still a man or a woman? I can't tell.
I'm pretty sure it's a guy.
He has a
I'm
very
pretty
feminine
sure
voice.
it's a female.
I mean, it's illegal to walk in the street, so
Yeah, and also by the end, if you want to block the highway, it's quite simple. If someone blocks the highway, don't expect me to stop because I want to go home.
yeah, and like if they're surrounding your car, you have the right to get out of there.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're surrounding and beating on your car.
Yeah, by the way, and as usual, they're not protesters, they are rioters.
I
If
also
it's
want to
violent,
say
it's
that
no longer a
it is
protest.
very ironic to me that the main witness in support of this legislation was a member from the St. Louis Police Officers Association, the most racist police union in this country. Not
Oh,
only
there's
that,
probably
but
worse.
represents a police department that kills more
Of
black
course,
people per
that's what
capita
they always
than any
go
other
to.
police department in
It's,
this
well, they're
country.
racist.
So it was very angering to me that he got a chance to sit in this chair and support legislation like this.
Once again, it's a man or a
the
woman.
regardless of the police station and the guy, that bill is actually good because people who are in their car and they're being threatened, and if they feel that their life is in danger, yeah, they should be allowed to be able to push through.
Yeah, so it's literally protecting innocent people who get attacked. Like, just because you're in your car doesn't mean they can't break in, or if you
jerk
forgot,
you out of it,
or
then-
they pull you out and beat you.
Mhm.
This is why I am in support of personal flamethrowers.
I say, okay, put the car in park and just start shooting.
Anyways,
Oh
let's
god,
continue.
no.
No.
Do you know how expensive bullets are? Propane
Yes,
is not
I do.
cheaper.
It is also kind of irks me that folks who call themselves constitutional conservatives, folks who say that they believe in small government, want to dictate police budgets from other cities that they don't live in. And then those folks who say that they believe in the First Amendment, who complain about
irks
cancel
you?
culture,
Shut the
now want
fuck
to
up.
take that right away from people like me to exercise and promote black humanity.
Except
What?
that's not what you're doing. You don't have the right to be right on a fucking freeway.
Also, what the fuck is black humanity?
And smashing people's cars is not free speech.
Well,
smashing anyone's property is not free speech.
Well, nor is just even if he's not really arguing that, but the part he's trying to argue is that you have the right to protest on a freeway or a road. Which no, you do not have the right to do that.
Yeah, you can protest on the sidewalk or in a park, but not in the effing road.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise and promote black humanity. Just that line right there. I'm like, I want to slap this motherfucker.
It's just buzzwords. That's what they do.
So this legislation is an attack on a movement of people standing up for human and civil rights, but not only on people like me. Know that this will
the Civil Rights Act has already happened. You're about years too late.
Wasn't that 1964?
The state who exercise their right to collectively bargain. Know that it will be used against the white supremacists and those who carry their guns in state capitals like this willingly. So when you...
Except none of that legislation had to do with the fact of carrying a gun into the Capitol.
You know, on January 6th, I was there. Nobody had a freaking gun. Not one single person.
But anyways, I think we're done with the videos. We can go through some comments now. Let's see. We got one from Roy.
Moreover, keep in mind that by blocking traffic, you're potentially harming others. For example, stopping ambulances.
He's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we saw last summer. Not to mention fire trucks also not able to get to fires because of it.
Not to mention the Seattle zone, where literally a bunch of people died because they wouldn't allow ambulances in. And if they did, they would attack them.
Well, more specifically, they wouldn't let the ambulance go in with police to secure the area. So that's why they couldn't go in.
Yeah, but that's also because wasn't there a previous ambulance that went in and got attacked?
Mm.
Yeah, so they needed a police escort. And, well, people are stupid.
Yeah. I think that will be it for today. So for those who are still watching or who are watching this in the future, please give this video a like and subscribe. And of course, also follow me on Medium. I post articles there periodically and give each article 50 claps. My next video
do the 50 claps. He won't stop annoying me to give them.
And I'm trying to build up my audience there. And of course, my next video is going to be based on one of my Medium Some article. I'm actually probably going to start doing this more often. Might actually do it for most of my videos, where I'll first write an article and then a week later I'll release a video on it. So I think that's an easy way for me to get the videos done because it helps, preparing for the thing.
He calls it efficiency, I call it laziness.
Hey, call it whatever you want. It's another form. So if you like reading it and then if you want to later listen to it, you can do that as well. But please try and do that as well as follow me on Medium and give my articles 50 claps. I try to share it anywhere where you can read it for free. So that way because I share the friend link or whatever it's called. That way you can read it for free so you don't have to pay any money to read it. But yes, go follow me there. And if you really like my content, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi. And of course, follow Neko Boy on his social media. He does his geek culture content. You can also commission Z Commander, and he does his different models that he can make for you. So
and I just don't care.
Do all this, and we'll see y'all later.